Hey, it's Friday morning, everyone, and this is Brian Jew here in the studio at the drive-in. I've been back for a week now, and I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of things and the flow of things, and so far, so good. Am I not right? Yes, tweet us about that comment right now. But also, Friday is one of my favorite days because that means the weekend is up, and we can party, relax, just do whatever, sleep in. Especially with the weather right now, it's so cold. Like, honestly, no lie, I kind of didn't want to come into work this morning because my comforter is so comfortable, and I kind of sleep with the window a little cracked open because I don't know why my boiler's not on. My house is kind of warm, and that slight coldness with the comforter feels so great in the morning, and you just don't want to get out of bed. I don't even want to jump in the shower, but I did because of you guys. You guys make this happen, and I just want to give a shout out as well to the people at This Morning, which is the show before ours. They pretty much get the day started for everybody with the great news around the world, stuff we don't actually, look online about and listen to on the radio. So I want to give them a big shout out. And you heard them about their globetrotting segment today where they're talking about people in New Zealand and China and London. You know what? We don't do it here. We just do movies. So we're going to give them a big thank you. And I hope they're listening right now. And also, Alex is his birthday today. So happy birthday, Alex. Yes, TBS EFM, we're very congratulatory to everybody on their special day. So happy birthday, and thank you for always giving us great news. But right now, we're going to start today's show with a song from the 1983 film Flashdance, starring Jennifer Beal. This is a request from Christina, and here's Irene Cara with What a Feeling. Check it out. Once again, that was Irene Cara with Flashdance, What a Feeling. And right now, we want to read some Twitter comments for you guys. We have one from Ongni D. She said, "Woohoo, now I'm dancing while dressing up. Thanks for refreshing me. Hee hee hee." Well, we're glad that you can be dancing in this wonderful, chilly morning. Of course, for you, you're in Thailand, so it's probably hot right there and humid. So either way, thank you for listening. We have one from May Ann. She said, "Nice one. Like that song, What a Feeling. Don't you love the 80s? I believe it's a yay. And by the way, the cold, totally sleep in. Cold. Yes, I would sleep in. You guys, if you don't have work, I urge you to sleep in because sleeping in sometimes does the job for you. Your body needs the rest. And my body is telling me I need rest because I worked out a little too hard yesterday and my calves are killing me. But I'm still here. I'm still walking. I'm still alive. I'm just glad to be breathing for you guys here, for you guys at the drive-in. And I just want to let the rest of you guys know listening right now how to get in contact with us. And you can simply do that by calling us at 02-778-1013. Send us a text at #1013 for a charge of 51. Send us an email at efmdrivein@gmail.com or tweet away at efmdrivein. That's our Twitter name right there. And before we start with the scene of the day, I'll read one more. Let's see. What's a cool one? We have... this is short and simple. Melanie S. wrote, "Best time of the day, EFM driving." That's correct. That's the best time of the day. And the best time of the day is from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. Korea time. So thank you guys for all those comments. And right now, it's time for Scene of the Day. All right, it's time for the scene of the day, and since today's Friday, all you guys know that Fridays slowly became Science Fiction Fridays, or as Lisa calls it, Sci-Friday. Of course, I wasn't here, so Lisa, no, I'm not putting you down or anything, but you don't make titles. Brian Jew makes titles. Just joking. I think that's very creative because Sci-Fi, that's cool, Sci-Friday. Okay, I see it. All right, cool. But today's movie that we have for you guys isn't a typical sci-fi movie because I wouldn't classify this as sci-fi. This is a little bit more action meets, hero type movies. I don't know. There's no genre that I can think of for this film, but this film is one of those films that I grew up loving. Like when it first came out, oh my gosh, I was so excited. I was in line buying tickets at the theater thinking this is the best movie of all time. Before Titanic came out, of course. But I'm talking about the 1990 blockbuster Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everybody liked this movie, man. This place was packed with kids when it first came out. I hope everybody listening right now remembers the Ninja Turtles. I'm pretty sure you do because it was the it toy to have back in the 80s and early 90s, I believe. And if you guys don't know what they are about, they're teenage turtles. Yes, they're turtles that are mutated into ninjas. That's why they're called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they fight against evil. And the evil leader back then was Shredder. who was this mean old man with this metal mask on his face. We never really got to see his face because he was too cool to show his mouth. He always had this metal guard piece up. And the Turtle franchise, actually, it started up as a comic book by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird and was supposed to be a parody of other comic books, but it blew up and became so popular. It spawned a cartoon, action figures, board games, several video games, beach towels, you know, you name it, it was made for the Turtles. Like, especially if you went to like a fast food joint, you know, when you order like a kid's meal, the little toy that comes out, the Ninja Turtles would be one of those toys. And I remember having all those toys. It was a collectible. But now I think they're all in the trash because my mom and dad threw away all my old toys. But right now we're going to listen to a scene where April O'Neil is in the Ninja Turtles' lair and Splinter explaining to her about the origin of the Ninja Turtles. So let's take a listen. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm re-listening to the scene and I realized how childish this sounds. Yes, Splinter was, I guess, a rat who learned how to do his martial arts from his master when he was a rat in a cage. That kind of sounds a little goofy, but I mean, it's creative. Kids like it. And then the fact that the green turtles went to a green ooze, you know, the connection there, green, because they're green, the animals. But, yes, and then they started looking for pizza. The first spoken words were pizza. Yes, what turtle looks for pizza? I would be like, Mommy! Mommy! That's what I would be saying if I was a turtle. Anyway, so there was 4 turtles, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. To be honest, my favorite was Donatello. I like that purple, I hacked the purple, what do you call it, the eyepiece thingy, the armbands, the big rod thing. It was easy, because you could just find a big stick and say, hey, I'm Donatello. And the kids growing up with me, we used to play, you know, Ninja Turtles all the time. So once in a while, I'd be Shredder. I like being the bad guy, so I would make this little metal, not real metal, it was made out of wood. But, yeah, put the metal piece on my face and be the bad guy. And if you guys didn't know, they were actually going to make a lot more Ninja Turtle movies. There's actually, right now, there's 2 that came out in the 90s, and then there's one that came out in 2007. And then recently, Michael Bay was supposed to make one, but Michael Bay wanted to turn the turtles from outer space and alien-like or whatever, whatnot. So I guess that went down, and no one wanted to really work with that. So the studio shut it down, so no Ninja Turtle movie. So hopefully it'll happen. We'll keep our fingers crossed, because for all you Ninja Turtle fans out there. But while we keep our fingers crossed, we're going to play a song for y'all from the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle film. This is Turtle Rhapsody by the Orchestra on a Half Shell. Once again, that was Turtle Rhapsody by Orchestra on a Half Shell. I was actually thinking to myself, is that a real group, Orchestra on a Half Shell? Or were they just a group that was made up just once for this film? Anyway, we have some Twitter comments from the responses from just listening to that song. Nikki Lewis wrote, I've met Stephen Ho that played Donatello in the suit. He was a guest at my dojo many, many years ago. That's cool! You got to meet Donatello and I didn't... Alright, next time, Nikki, if you see Donatello or Stephen Ho, get me an autograph and be like, Brian Ju from The Drive-In or from Korea is a big fan of yours and he really wants an autograph. So please make that happen. We also have one... Rhea Butler wrote, my fave was Leonardo, my bros was Michelangelo. And then May Ann said, Michelangelo loves pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? Oh, let's talk about pizza right now. It's Friday. Do you remember back in high school, Friday for our high school was pizza day? And that's what I'm craving right now. So apparently for lunch, I'm going to pig out and not eat healthy and have a pizza in memory of high school and Ninja Turtles. Also, we have another one from May Ann. She wrote, speaking of toys, I used to have a collectibles Cabbage Patch Kids, Rainbow Bright and Strawberry Shortcake and Smurfs. Oh my gosh. This is the stuff all my cousins had because I have a lot of female cousins. Wow, Cabbage Patch Kids, Rainbow Bright and Strawberry Shortcake and the Smurfs. Oh, but did you have My Little Pony? Oh, I brought that up. Yes, ladies, because my cousin had My Little Pony. She loved My Little Pony. Not me. Trust me, I would not have no My Little Pony. I had G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes and Ninja Turtles. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys what's coming up next. It's Now Playing Friday, so after intermission, Eugene will be in the studio with me to run down the top 5 movies in Korea right now, and he'll introduce a new movie as well, but of course, that's going to be after intermissions. For now, let's talk about another song. We're going to talk about a song from the 1993 film, The Three Musketeers. And this film featured Charlie Sheen, Oliver Platt, Kiefer Sutherland, and Chris O'Donnell as Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and D'Artagnan. And they're called The Three Musketeers. But a lot of people are going to be confused, and so was I when I first saw this movie, because that's 4 people, and how can you call 4 people 3 Musketeers? And why do they call them 3 Musketeers? They don't use muskets. They use fencing swords. Who knows? You know what? The story writer, He came up with it, not me. But we urge you to watch it here at the drive-in. Any movie we recommend, you need to watch it. So, here's a song from the movie. This is a request by Ongni. This is called All for Love from the Three Musketeers soundtrack by Bryan Adams, Sting, and Rod Stewart. Once again, that was Sting, Bryan Adams, and Rod Stewart from the Three Musketeers soundtrack. I got confused because we played too many movies here. But Three Musketeers soundtrack, All for Love. It's a great song. And right now we're going to play another song for you guys before we go into intermission. This is from the 1972 film, The Godfather. What a classic movie. The film was directed by Francis Ford Coppola and featured Marlon Brando and a young Al Pacino. This is the love theme arranged by Nina Rota from The Godfather's original soundtrack. Yes. We're back, and now it's time for Now Playing Fridays with your man, Eugene Wong, with the top 5 movies that he brought. What's up, Eugene?
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
Very good, very good. Tired a little bit.
You know, everybody, they've been coming in all week telling you how much they missed you when you were away.
Uh-huh.
And, I didn't do that on Wednesday because, I saw you Monday and Tuesday also.
That is true.
So I didn't tell you on the air. So I did miss you when you were away. So welcome back, Brian. Oh, yeah, he always does that. Oh,
I'm very emotional. That's why I'm sentimental.
That's really good.
Thank you very much.
Actually, before we start, I wanted to let the listeners know that we now have a podcast.
Yes, we do.
And so you can find that by going into the podcast app on your smartphone, and you search for TBS EFM, The Drive-In, or just The Drive-In with Brian Ju, or anything related to our show, and you can find it. And every time I update the podcast, you'll be able to just listen to it really easily.
So you guys don't have any more excuses. I don't want you to hear stuff like on Twitter, I couldn't hear today, I was I was late, I was running late, I was at work, Now you can listen to it even after our program.
Yeah, so, I will say that listening live is better though, because we're not allowed to put on these songs in the podcast, so I have to edit those out.
Okay.
It's still pretty good. It's
still good. You can still listen to me and all the other guests on the drive-in.
Yes. It should be really fun.
Yes.
Another thing, we were talking about the Ninja Turtles earlier.
Yes, we did.
And did you ever watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Of course we didn't.
What was it, Uncle Phil? James Avery.
Yeah.
He was actually the voice of the Shredder.
What?
Yeah, Uncle Phil was the Shredder. Did you know that?
I didn't. Wait, he had like a little Asian accent.
No, he didn't. He was like, "Oh, I'll get you, turtles. I'll eat you for turtle soup."
Oh, Shredder. I'm thinking Splinter.
Oh, no.
Wait, Shredder's the bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy. Uncle Phil was the bad guy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really funny.
That's
like,
crazy.
sometimes if you look on YouTube, you can find this file where it'll have, the Shredder, and then it'll switch it with some, like Uncle Phil was mad at Will Smith or something, and they'll switch the voice around, and it looks like he's yelling at Will Smith.
I'm gonna have to do that when I get home. Look that up.
It's hard to explain, but anyway, shall we go into the top 5 today?
Yes, we shall.
All right. So last week we did go through the top 5 of all the movies in Korea, and normally I'd switch off and just do only foreign movies this week, but some big things happened, so I'm gonna do all of them again.
Alrighty.
All right. Shall we start? Number 5.
Oh my gosh. I was wondering why your arm went up. Oh my gosh, you guys missed it here in the studio. Eugene put his arm up. He probably talked about it with the engineer. If I put my arm up, please put the little echo thingy on for my effect. Wow.
Yeah, while you were away, that's something that Lisa and I worked out with the engineer.
Hold on, let me try that. Ready?
All right.
Number 5. I don't get that effect. It's not as strong.
Well, we'll try it together next time we get to number 4.
I'm quitting my job.
Don't quit. We love you here. All right, number 5 is Argo. This has 2.7% of the audience. All these are based on the percentage of the audience that's going to watch the movie, okay? So Argo is directed by Ben Affleck, actually. And it is about the rescue of 6 U.S. diplomats from Tehran, Iran during the 1979 hostage crisis.
Oh.
So maybe a little before your time. I was 1 year old at the time.
Wait,
I guess.
so this is a true story, basically.
It is a true story. It was the last thing President Carter had to deal with.
I'm definitely gonna watch this because I love true story related films.
But it's interesting. It's directed by Ben Affleck. Usually you don't see him for director.
Didn't you direct the other movie when they're bank robbers in Boston?
Oh yeah. I think he did do that. You're right. Okay.
He's a pretty good director.
Okay. Yeah. Also, it stars. Let's see who else: Bryan Cranston, Alan Arkin, and John Goodman.
I thought you were gonna say Brian Jew. Yes, I was in that movie.
Oh, you were a hostage, or? No.
I just walked on. I had a mask on, so you can't.
Another interesting thing that I was surprised by. The film is co-produced by George Clooney and Grant Heslov. So Clooney's producing. Affleck's directing. You know, the actors, when they're at the end of their career or in the middle of the career, they will become, you know, go behind the scenes. Right?
Because you don't want to limit yourself as an actor or even a singer. That's why singers start producing albums and writing for other people too.
That's why you got to be versatile.
Exactly.
All right, you ready for number 4?
You want to do it together?
Yeah. Number 4! Hey, you're good at that. Wow. All right, this one is number 4. This is called Perfect Number or 용의자 X. This has 5.3% of the audience.
Wow.
This is moving down from number 3 last week, actually. Okay. And this is actually based on the Japanese novel 용의자 X no Kenshin, and that's by Higashino Keigo. This one was about...
I thought you just blabbering. I didn't understand what you just said. I was like, oh, he spoke Japanese. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
So this is about a math professor, and he's in love with this woman who's abused by her husband, and she ends up accidentally killing him. I don't know how you can do that by accident, but she accidentally kills him, and then he wants to protect her, so he comes up with an alibi for her and says, oh no, she was with me. He got killed by somebody else, I guess. So very interesting. This was really popular when it first came out, but it's falling fast. It only has 5.3% of the audience.
Oh, it stars Ryu Seung-bum,
yeah,
Lee Yo-won, and Cho Jin-yoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like Seung-bum. He's like a DJ too in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, him and I always bump into the same clubs, and he actually DJs. Like, he's really legit DJ.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check that out next time I go to the club with my wife. All right, ready? Number 3. They
haven't got that effect down yet.
Okay, this is of course Gwanghae or Masquerade, right? This has 13.1% of the audience. This is amazing. This movie.
Wow, it's still up there.
It's still in the double digits.
Okay.
It was almost 2 months. It was in the number 1 slot, maybe 6 or 7 weeks. And you know, they had when you were away, they had the Golden Bell Awards, I guess it's called, and it got like, I don't know, 18, 19 awards, like Best Actor, Best Film Director, Best Picture.
Not even just nominations, but they actually won that many awards?
Yeah, it was like, if you watch the whole awards show, it was like, you know, you should watch this movie, Gwanghae, because it's amazing. And every time it was nominated for practically everything, and usually they would win. I
should watch it, yeah.
So it's really, I feel sorry for all those other movies, because it's like, there's no way you could possibly go against this. People might say that this would be the best Korean movie of the decade, or... I don't know about ever. I mean, that's a very subjective thing. But of the decade, of course...
And everyone has their own opinion on films.
Of course, it is only 2012. So if you say it's the best movie of the decade, that's of the last 2 years, right?
That is true.
All right.
That is true.
Shall we continue? Number 2! All right. So this is pretty amazing because it's Skyfall.
Saw it.
The James Bond movie.
Did you see it?
Yeah, of course I saw it. I saw it on opening day. It was amazing. I really loved it a lot. But... this was in the number 1 slot last week when it came out. So, you know, I was surprised that it's not in there for longer than 1 week. I mean, there was another movie that came up that ended up beating. But let's talk about Skyfall a little bit. We talked about it extensively last week when you were not here, and I had a theory about it that, you know how everybody's replaceable in the MI6. Like, M dies and another M comes in.
Yeah.
Q died and another Q came in, right? I have this theory that each James Bond actor isn't actually the same person. They're actually different people. So James Bond...
Why do they have the same name?
It's a code name. You know? Like when you retire, somebody else comes in and they're James Bond.
So if something happened to you, we're going to get another writer that's a girl named Eugene Wong?
Well, if we were MI6 and we had secret agents going around, then yeah, maybe. And then, you know, if you were to retire or, you know, move on to better things... We
could be like DI6, Drive-In 6.
Ah, right.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know,
I'll be DI6.
And you'll be 007 and I'll
Hong.
be...
Eugene Wong.
I'll be W and then PD will be P, you know, right?
I'm DJ.
Right.
Jew.
That's pretty funny.
Yes.
All right, shall we move on to the best movie of the week?
Yes.
Number 1! Okay,
kind of hurt my ear, but go ahead.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, number 1, this is actually, you know, it has 48.7% of the audience.
Holy moly.
It opened last week.
Okay, so it's still new.
Yeah. So it took Skyfall out of the number 1 slot, which is pretty amazing.
You know what it is, though? Nowadays, movies come out so often.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody saw Skyfall already the first week, so there's nobody else to go see it.
That's true, but then why was Gwanghae up there for so long, you know?
Because people still haven't seen it, so a small group each goes every day.
I see.
So
well, we should say the name of this movie, I think. It's Werewolf Boy.
Okay.
You know, you think about the title, you think it's going to be a horror movie, right?
No, to me, it's going to be like a alien sci-fi movie. I don't know why.
Well, even it'll be a scary movie because it has werewolves, and it's like, oh, it's Werewolf Boy. But actually, if you look at the story itself, it's not really a scary story. It's about this girl in the 1960s, this teenage girl in the 1960s, and she meets a feral teenage boy. And feral means like he was raised in the woods by himself. He hasn't had any human interaction in his entire life.
Okay.
And she teaches him how to be civilized. Teaches him table manners and everything. Teaches him how to speak.
So he's technically not really a werewolf. He doesn't have hair on his body or anything.
When he matures, he becomes a werewolf.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's a love story between the girl and the boy, and then he grows up and he becomes a werewolf, and the people in the town, they start to get scared of him, right? So then she has to like protect him from the townspeople who can't accept somebody who's different than them. And so you could say it's a love story, and it's also a commentary on the xenophobic Korean society, and I think it is really effective. I haven't seen it yet, but it seems really interesting, and I would like to see it.
Okay. Well, then we actually have a song from the movie set up right now for you guys, and this is John Park singing 철부지 from the Werewolf Boy original soundtrack. Once again, that was John Park with 철부지 from the Werewolf Boy soundtrack. And we are going to continue to talk about movies.
Yes,
Eugene,
we are. Yes,
Mr.
we are,
Eugene.
definitely. Actually, before we start that, John Park, I really like his voice. He's really good.
He's a good singer.
He's one of those people who actually won one of the audition shows, right?
American Idol.
Yeah.
And also, he was on American Idol, and then he did he win Superstar? He was number 2.
Oh, he was second place. Okay.
Second place. And then I met him, I think a year and a half ago. He came to my dressing room to give me his CD autographed.
Oh.
And he's a nice person.
That's
very
cool.
nice guy.
That's cool. Yeah, I really wish I could meet him. I mean,
he's a sweet guy.
And my wife is like, "Oh, he's so handsome. He's so handsome. I want to meet him."
Your wife said the same thing to me on the phone.
Well, you're kind of handsome.
I think she just likes every Korean singer out there.
Okay.
A lot of Korean women like that, or people who are into K-pop think that every Korean guy is like the hottest guy in the world.
Yeah.
So well, I mean, it doesn't make me feel good because I don't want to be just another dust in the wind.
No. There are some singers I would say who are not very handsome. I won't name any names, but
I like how you're looking at me while you say that.
No, not you.
I hate you, Eugene.
My bad.
It's all good.
You look better than me right now with my mustache. I'll say that.
Do you notice I didn't shave today?
Oh yeah.
This is what happens.
Movember.
This is what happens when I don't shave. But guess what? I'm shaving as soon as I get home.
No, man, you gotta let it
look
grow
like a
up from
creep.
November. No, you look fine.
I look like a bum.
Yeah, but then everybody like take the pictures, and you can put.
That
it on
is true.
Twitter.
I gotta put it on my. Actually, I'm promoting a prostate charity thing.
Oh, okay.
But they want us to put pictures up on the Facebook page.
All right.
So I might. Maybe draw in a fake mustache.
Or put in like the Groucho Marx glasses, with the big nose and the glasses and the mustache.
Maybe.
You could do that. Right.
But then it wouldn't look like me.
I guess not.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the now playing Friday today. This movie's coming out today in Korea.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but it is actually a year old.
In the States.
Yes. It seems like they always do that. There's some movies actually we get before the States.
Exactly.
But this one, I guess it took a while to translate or something. I'm not sure why it's taking it.
I think it's a translation thing, and I think it's also the cultural thing.
Maybe, yeah.
To Koreans, this movie wasn't probably something that would have been hit back then.
It wouldn't be culturally easily transferable, I think.
Exactly.
But it has a great cast. The movie is called Carnage, right?
Yep.
Now, when I first heard of that, you'd think it's an action movie where people would be beating each other up. And it's like, the Carnage!
Or
Are you
eating
ready
each
for
other
the
apart.
Carnage? But it is not about that. It has, I'll tell you who the cast is. It's got Jodie Foster and Kate Winslet as the women, right? So... if those two are in it, that's really great. It also has Christoph Waltz, who was did you see that the Quentin Tarantino movie was Inglourious Bad Boys?
Oh yeah.
And he was the guy who spoke all those languages.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also had John C. Reilly as. And so they're two husbands, and Jodie Foster and Kate Winslet are two wives, and so they're two couples, and their kids actually get in a fight. Right?
Oh.
So they decide, we gotta make the kids, see eye to eye and make up. And so they decide to come together and have dinner together and, talk it out and say, we'll find out whose fault it is. And then one person will say, apologize to the other. But it ends up when they're meeting over dinner, like they start acting like kids themselves, right? And they don't want to. They just like, your kid has to apologize to my kid, and the other one's like, no, my kid didn't do anything wrong. Your kid has to stop beating people and bullying. And it devolves into them calling each other names, and they're all drinking and acting childish themselves. So it's pretty interesting, like, because parents are really.
Did you see the film?
I have not seen it.
I'm gonna actually rent it tonight and watch it.
But well, I think parents, they are very, very protective of their children, right?
They are, but then at the same time, just listening to the storyline, the synopsis,
Yeah.
I realized kids, the word kids and adult are just words, because certain adults, no matter how old you get, you're still going to have the kid in you. But that's not always a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah. Because sometimes you need to learn how to live young.
But also, I think it could be said that parents, sometimes they give their kids the benefit of the doubt too much. You know, like, my kid's not the bully. My kid's not the bad kid, right?
That's
and
true.
they'll think that all the other kids are bad, but, my kid would never do that. So that's why their behavior devolves into that way, you know? And then so you got the two couples arguing with each other. And I won't say what happens in the ending, but you can probably figure out what happens, right?
Alrighty.
And this film got 72% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not the greatest film of all time, but I think the cast is very strong, so it's probably going to be really good, yeah.
All right. But I mean, still not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad.
Alrighty. Well, with that said, we're all going to go watch this movie, I hope, tonight. I recommend it because 72% on Rotten Tomatoes actually is a good score. And with that said, we have a song for you guys before we say bye to Mr. Eugene Wong. Thank you for
Bye.
all that info.
Yeah.
And next time, you don't use that echo in here. I make the rules. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Well, next time we won't. It'll be Wednesday when I'm in here.
That is true. All right, guys. This is from this movie, Carnage, and this is the film score. Check it out. All right, that was from the movie Carnage, and that was a film score. And as the song was going out, we have a few more Twitter comments. May Ann wrote, "Sounds good, Carnage. Ha, I'll try to look it up and watch it too this evening or rent it, perhaps." I urge you to do that because I actually saw the preview for this movie a year ago in the States. And I told myself this is one of the movies on the list of movies that I need to see. So I'm definitely going to watch this movie, whether it be on film or the screen in the theater or at home. I'm definitely going to watch this movie. Also, we have Melanie, as she wrote, I have to read this. She wrote, "Oh, hush, Brian, you're super duper handsome." Thank you, Melanie. Somebody thinks that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Not everyone would think I'm handsome and cute. My mama thinks I'm the best looking person in the world because she's my mama. But, thank you guys for all your Twitter comments. Keep coming, and I'll read them tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Monday and the rest of the week. Not the weekends, but the week. But right now, we have another song request by the greatest producer in the world. Yes, Pak PD Neem, our producer here at the Drive-In. It comes from the 1987 film Full Metal Jacket. And it seems like the late 80s, they made a lot of good movies back then. And about the wars, too, especially about the Vietnam War. And there was Platoon, there was The Deer Hunter, and of course this movie, Full Metal Jacket. And this movie was very memorable. And it's famous for a very popular movie quote spoken by a woman in this film that will never, ever play here on the Scene of the Day because, let's just say she said stuff that we shouldn't be playing on air. That's the only thing I could say. Anyway, here's a song that our amazing, beautiful, talented, multicultural PD requested. And this is the actual last song of the day. And it's the Rolling Stones with Painted Black from the Full Metal Jacket original soundtrack. This is Brian Ju signing off.